personalities get ready to blow.
Well, you guys have a new council member now, with Diana's.
Enacted fall on our children, right?
All right, hello to everyone. For folks who are joining us on Zoom, I'm just double checking to make sure you can see and hear us okay. Feel free to throw a thumbs up or something in the chat if you hear us okay. Please use the chat. All right, I'll love that. If at any point our audio cuts or just having kind of like any technical issues, feel free to keep using the chat to alert us of that. We're going to start in about a minute, so we're going to mute the stream and then turn my audio back on when we're ready to go.
When the accident occurred, the medical examiner believed Kevin Zavala, who used a wheelchair, died from blunt impact injuries. In Bangkok, Thailand, a massive sinkhole has opened up their hospital and police station. It's 160 feet deep.
Wow.
Authorities are scrambling to take it so far now. And at the United Nations, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said the UN is too weak to stop wars and warned drones and artificial intelligence have transformed war into the most destructive arms race in human history. His appeal for aid came as President Trump shifted to encouraging Ukraine to keep fighting. Syria's new president, Ahmed al-Shara, a former rebel
I think someone on the Zoom may need to mute their line.
became the first Syrian leader in nearly 60 years to address the UN. Margaret Brennan spoke with al-Shara in Syria last week while on assignment for 60 minutes. He said Syria posed no threat to Israel and he wants to...
Hi, if you're watching 60 Minutes, can you please mute your line?
criticize Israel's actions in the region, including its attack on Hamas officials in Qatar and its bombing of the grounds near Israel.
It appears to be OC.
Us? These are
What if the backyard of the White House? The United States will wage war against whoever targeted the White House backyard for the next 20 years.
No, since October 7th, Israel is saying they're not going to take any chances whatsoever with their security. There are still thousands of
Now it appears to be Tanisha. Sorry, OC. Tanisha, please mute yourself.
First of all, James, you have it wrong. I was muted. Thank you.
And Israeli official declined to comment on al-Shara's remarks, but confirmed that negotiations with Syria are continuing. You can see more progress in an upcoming edition of 60 Minutes. So ahead on the CBS Evening News, a powerful...
There are, in fact, 2 instances of you, Tanisha, and one of them is not muted because it has a green
Good
box
evening,
around it.
everyone. How's everybody doing? Welcome back. I know folks in Zoom can see me okay. In person, you might lose your visual. But I hope everybody's feeling well rested, especially after this summer. We do not have quorum yet, but that is okay because we have a pretty jam-packed agenda tonight. So I'm just gonna kind of go through some housekeeping. We'll dive into a report, and then we have a really important presentation from the independent. I thank you. I love that. We have a presentation from the Independent Budget Office. Oh yeah, that's a little too much.
Do you want to start with the first one?
That'll be.
All right, because it's only one a day.
Scroll through. For folks on
It's like a shot.
And I know we have some new people in the room.
It's like it's not like you drink
This
it.
is our general meeting.
Yeah, stand there.
And so the general meeting of the board is really the
These
space
guys
where we
can take
convene
fill with
after 2.5 weeks of
probiotic.
committee,
I mean, does that mean every
meetings,
dose?
focus on a lot of
I
different
guess I
topics
should have
that
asked them
we're
that.
gonna be discussing tonight. or
Excuse me,
topics that
Catherine,
folks are
could you
on
mute-
Chair, I can't hear you.
speaking on. So while this meeting
So I
is
got,
sort of the richest space of dialogue, right? It's really
Catherine.
strawberries and no
communities,
flavor.
Catherine, you must mute everyone. We
officials,
cannot hear.
and anyone really from the public who wants to raise a concern or question.
I don't hear him, but I wonder if
Catherine, we cannot hear
folks on
you.
Zoom, you're okay?
Mute everyone so we get rid of those extraneous voices, please.
Oh, okay, thank you, Jim, and I don't know why Jim's so far, that is something.
Oh, and the alpha is running.
Okay,
everyone else is muted at this point. Except you, very large, so they can hear you, you just can't hear them.
Okay,
Oh, it might be, I lowered the volume of
oh, okay,
the computer.
oh, the one on the actual desktop? Okay. I'll fix that. Sorry, folks, give me just 1
The
minute.
music be too loud.
Look at the speakers here, but let's see. All right, where was I? Oh, talking about housekeeping. So the purpose of the meeting, so mainly we're here to vote and listen from residents, electeds, and a lot of that information comes back right into our committee meetings. Hopefully you get to connect with other folks on topics that you're interested in tonight. There's some of those like norms that we have, right? Board members only, only board members speak during the general meeting. So if you do have kind of like a question, comment, concern, you want to sign up for that public session. Even if you're uncertain, sign up because it is the best time to do so. And you can always forego speaking during the public session. And if anything, we can offer an email with that to put you in touch with the board office, which might be able to like help with whatever question or comment you may have. We try to keep it nice and tight. We do have a full agenda, so folks are capped at 2 minutes. And we ask that folks keep it pertaining to the agenda items of tonight. If you are on Zoom, as I've shared earlier, please use the chat to alert us of any technical difficulties. If you're speaking and you want to share any information, you can use the chat or the Q&A to do so. And we just ask because we do follow Robert's Rule of Order, that you do limit using the chat for debates or discussion on any of the items that are being raised tonight. If you haven't signed up for the public session, I'm joined up here by Anthony Viola, our first vice chair, who is giving your turn numbers. So you do have about 14 minutes left or until we have a full sign up. Okay. For anybody who is also on Zoom, you'll find a link under resources for all of the materials that we're discussing tonight that are on our website. You can also do the same thing in person if you're here, go on our website and find it. And we do have some limited copies up at the front table. All right, so let's dig into my chair report, and I'm actually gonna stop this. Anyways, so welcome back. As I said earlier, it's really nice to kind of see the trickle in of folks back at the meetings, whether it's on Zoom, in person, and just seeing folks back in person, you know, in our usual meeting room. And really appreciate all the time and commitment that folks have had in terms of just getting ready to go right from the end of August. Folks are just ready to start. I do want to just share some really important reminders. This is mainly for our board members. This is one that I see most of y'all. Is just a reminder, right? Our board strong is when everyone's an active participant. So I did get some requests of folks who had questions on committee assignments. If at any point you do need to change your committee assignment, right? Maybe it's you have a new conflict with work or a caregiving issue or anything at all. Make sure to schedule some time one-on-one with me so that's something that we can address now. Before the next following months of meetings, since once we hit kind of October, November, it's really hard. We really avoid changing committee assignments unless, you know, there's something kind of like urgent. Yeah, and so also happy to talk about just kind of like any questions, especially for our newer members as you've been kind of integrated into your first round of meetings. Any questions, concerns, really how to be most effective, and always lean on like your committee members, right? You have folks who've been on the committees for a while, your committee chairs, your vice chairs, who are also a big source of support. And that collaboration and that communication is really key in making sure we have really successful committees. Next month, and I know some committees might have mentioned it a little bit, we're gonna start a really key part of our work, a duty in city charter of the community board, which is advising on what's called the district needs statement, but really it's what are our funding priorities, right? So New York City, excuse me, has millions and millions of dollars, or one of that get funded across the city, right? Whether that's through nonprofits for capital projects, for expenditure projects, excuse me. And so it's a really big core responsibility that we fulfill in the next 3 months. So take really close look at a lot of the materials that are on Airtable already, that committee chairs will start sharing, that the office are gonna start sharing, and just like what that process is. When the end of October comes, it's our individual duty to begin to rank all of what we feel individually, right, are our funding priorities. So that kind of like work in advance is helpful because it's like a roller coaster and the time starts ticking. And so with that, I want to thank Jay Baez, I don't know if he's here, who since before summer was asking if we can get a presentation from the New York City Independent Budget Office. And they actually presented a few months ago when I was at the Manhattan Borough Board meeting, and we've all found that information and presentation really helpful, I think critical, and also like really surprising to know like the level of resources, particularly from an independent, nonpartisan office assessing our city budget. And they had just a wealth of policy and data information at their hands. So I want to introduce our next speaker. I can find her. And I'm sorry if I butcher your name. Is your name Shinrui?
Shinrei.
Shinrei. Who's at the Independent Budget Office, who's gonna walk us through some of their work and how we as board members can use information from the Independent Budget Office to really guide what we're doing in the next months. There we go.
Cool. You guys can hear me all right?
Give me a second because you sound super far. I don't think so. Can you try again?
How about now? I know people online are giving me thumbs up, but maybe in the room it's a little.
Folks in the back? Yeah. Yeah, all right, we can hear you better now.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for that really lovely introduction. Good evening, everybody on CB12. Thanks to Jay, Noemi, Catherine, who helped coordinate my being here. My name is Shinrei. I'm the Community Engagement Specialist at the New York City Independent Budget Office. I've been at IBO for about a year now, and my role is to bridge the gap between New Yorkers and IBO reporting. So as Catherine mentioned, tonight I'll be introducing New York City Independent Budget Office as a resource for community members, as well as give you a bit of a taste of the kind of information we'll be presenting at our upcoming Budget 101 presentation, which is actually co-hosted by the Manhattan Borough President's Office for Leadership Week. So if you're not aware of that, that's coming up in October. And you can register for that upcoming webinar at the QR code at the top of the screen. So if anybody wants to do that right now, I'll give you like 5 seconds to whip out your phone and scan that. I'll also send you the link in the chat, so don't worry about that. Okay, so getting into it, what is IBO? IBO, the Independent Budget Office, is a nonpartisan city agency providing data-driven fiscal and policy insights into how New York City's government and services operate. So yes, we are a city agency, the same as NYPD, FDNY, the mayor's office, etc. But I want to highlight that we are nonpartisan in the sense that we are independent. We do not report to elected officials. We don't have any party association. And our primary function is to provide an unbiased look at New York City's data to New Yorkers. So how do we do this? Well, firstly, we publish 3 charter mandated reports, which are in-depth analyses of the mayor's budget plans. In these reports, we calculate our own forecasts and revenues, forecasts of revenue and expenditure for upcoming and future fiscal years. We also highlight what we see as key risks to changes in the budget. And this provides an impartial fiscal perspective in addition to the mayor's office or the city council's own forecasts. We also publish year-round reports on education, public safety, housing, social services, etc. Essentially all subjects New York City budget and policy related. We have analysts looking at it. So just today, for example, we published our annual education indicators, which compile statistics on things like student attendance, achievement, demographics, teacher and principal demographics, school utilization, school building utilization. And tomorrow we are publishing the second installment of our Federal Changes Local Impact series. So on the screen, you can see last week's publication was on the public hospital system. Tomorrow will be on the public housing system. And we are just laying out where the federal funds are coming from, flowing into these New York City institutions and where possible policy changes could impact New Yorkers. And you can see our reports at the QR code on the top right-hand corner. Other than that, we also deliver testimony to City Council to present the findings of our reports. And finally, we deliver presentations to increase awareness of the budget and encourage budget transparency. For example, linked in the slide, bolded and underlined, is our series Demystifying the School Budget, which is on our YouTube channel, which basically walks you through step-by-step how to find and look at your own school's budget. We also deliver presentations on the city budget to high schoolers, university students, to university organizations and nonprofits. So if you have a specific subject matter that you're interested in, we can tailor a budget presentation for your organization. We also deliver presentations to community board committees. So if you want a specific presentation on a report that we did recently, you can definitely reach out to us. So with the remaining time I have today, I'm just going to go into a little bit of the information we're going to cover on our October 20th webinar. So we always start off to impress upon our audience the importance of the city budget. So at IBO, we always say that the budget is not just a financial document, it is more importantly a policy document. Creating the budget is when policy decisions are made. And in New York City, the budget serves as a blueprint for revenues, which is how much money the city's taking in, expenditures, how much is going to all our city services and infrastructure, and finally balancing the budget, which is required by city law. So it's not actually a typical feature of city, state, or federal budgets. Like, for example, the federal government can run a deficit. It's notable that New York City law requires that the city budget be balanced. All right. So who are the primary budget actors is something else we'll cover. I'm not going to go into detail today because this is something that you can hear more in depth at our webinar on the 20th. But we'll go into basically the mayor's role, the city council's role, IBO's role, comptroller, and the financial control board. We'll also go into the city budget timeline. So for those who are new to the community board, which I know there are some members starting out today, or like getting started in this period, New York City's fiscal year doesn't follow the calendar year. It starts in July, which you can see the little confetti guy on the screen. And we'll go more in depth on the various budget documents that come out prior to the beginning of a fiscal year. So the preliminary budget, the executive budget, the November plan, where IBO publishes our own individual independent analyses, and then also go into where community boards play a role. So as Catherine was saying, you guys are going to start looking at your needs assessments and ranking your budget priorities. So we'll kind of go more in depth as to where that fits in the budget process in the bigger picture. So some other subjects to be covered at this webinar is the difference between the expense and the capital budget, other key budget terms, like if you're not familiar with what a unit of appropriation is or what OTPS or PS means, where to even find these city budget documents. And we'll also go over some funding sources for community members, like discretionary funding. And also we'll give you an overview of revenue and expenditure, where it's coming from and where it's going. I definitely recommend that you come for our webinar. I feel like I've said that a few times. I'm going to stop saying that now. But I'm going to put in the chat my details and the registration link. And I guess I was hoping to be there in person. I'm sorry I couldn't make it tonight. But I wanted to ask the audience, what would you like us to cover in our webinars, and like what kind of information you're interested in seeing in our Budget 101 presentations? But since I can't be polling the room, I guess I would just ask you to drop it in the chat or drop me an email, which I guess I'll try and send right now. Let's see. All right, there we go. Yeah, so I included the registration link for the webinar, the link to our reports, today's slides, and also my email. So if you have any subjects that you want us to cover on October 20th, please feel free to send me an email. Yeah, and that's pretty much my little truncated introduction to IBO today. And I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody has any, though I feel like it might be a little difficult because I imagine you have to go to the podium and ask it.
That's okay. We also have some wireless mics if there are board members who have questions. Are there any in person, online? October 20, 12 p.m. I'll go for it, Indiana.
Thank you. I was wondering, just like, is there anything you recommend that we look at before the training on October 20th? Especially because, sorry, I imagine that, you guys will do like a big overview, but will there be like a piece specific to community boards?
There will be a section specific to community boards that covers more your role in the overall budget process, and specifically what you can be doing to ask for more funding, like what sources you can be going to seek out funding, whether it be your borough president or your council members or the speaker, and how to track certain projects. But ahead of time, this is very much like a Budget 101,
Okay.
which is why I'm also curious to know if anybody has anything deeper that they would like us to cover. But yeah, so you really don't need to look at any other documents prior to the webinar.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I have, actually, I'll have Sonia, and then we gotta get to a mic, Sonia, and I have one as well.
I will be right. I just curious as to how this civic engagement commission ties into this whole process. Or does it not?
The question is, how does this, you're talking about the Civic Engagement Commission tie into this process, or if it doesn't at all?
So I'm aware of the Civic Engagement Commission. They don't really play a role in the creation of the budget. What they do run is a program called participatory budgeting, where they have an allotted amount of money, and I think it's given by city council members, or it might be already in the budget. But I know that it's been like $1 million one year and $4 million another year. But that is a different process from the city creating the city budget. It's more like a line item within the city budget, and then they have their own idea generation, voting, etc. So this is not part of that process.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope that answers your question. I'm also aware that they do a lot of voter assistance, like language assistance. So yeah, I'm not the greatest authority to answer CEC's role.
I have another question tied to that is, or not tied to, sorry, is what is it for in terms of like a training, or I think just kind of report back, because every single board works pretty different, and I think I've seen how some boards even vary from each other in how they approach their funding recommendations. I think we fall into the camp that we tend to have many. Some are really like tight and broader. So I'm always curious from like your perspective, what's an effective way? What is it maybe from the analyses have you seen that agencies respond to better, incorporate more? Like, I'm just curious in terms of like how those notes across community boards have affected both agencies and OMD's response and kind of like, I guess, priorities of considering this?
Engagement is just a.
I mean, that's a great question. I personally am actually looking at all of the needs assessments responses by city agencies from like fiscal year 2018 to present, to try and answer that question. And I spoke with DCP, the Department of City Planning, on how to be most effective in communicating with the agencies. And unfortunately, the answer is kind of, it really depends. There are like certain agencies prefer you to, for example, have a really specific ask of like, I want a new lamp at this park corner. Whereas other city agencies prefer that you have broader asks that align with their goals of that year. So I think that is more of a question for the Department of City Planning. But I think that a lot of the things that you guys are actually currently doing, like I sat in on one of your city agency consultations with the Brooklyn, oh, not with Manhattan Borough, actually, sorry, with the Brooklyn Borough. And people are kind of coming in with really pointed questions, really specific subject matter that they want information from the agencies on how to advocate for things that they're concerned about in their own neighborhoods. But yeah, I actually am very curious to see how the Manhattan Borough consultations have been going. But yeah, I guess I don't have a great answer to that question. I'm sorry, to kind of go in circles.
No, that's actually really helpful, like how even agencies vary in the way that they want it. Because I think that affects how like we ourselves would submit things. I think I saw another hand. Yeah, so back to something.
It's me again. Just as a point of clarification, are you saying that the civics engagements, 6 weeks of sessions is a line item in this budget?
No. Did you hear the full question?
Yeah, I heard the question. So what I believe you're referring to is the participatory budgeting program that the Civic Engagement Commission runs. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yes. So they have their own process of deciding how that money is spent. Like that is that particular program. And it's not really a part of the whole like mayor's city council negotiation in setting the adopted budget ahead of the fiscal year. This is just a program where money is set aside. Yeah, and they have their own process.
Okay. Does that answer your question, sorry?
In a roundabout way, I guess.
Yeah, they also do a lot of trainings, and I think the budget is one of them, so that might be where there's a. All right, I think that covers in room. I don't see anything else in the chat. October 20th, everybody can scan, and even if you're not a board member, like this is all for all New Yorkers, so you can definitely take a look at those reports they put together.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone. And yeah, have a good evening.
Thank you, you too. All right, so with that said, we have reached quorum. It's 7, I think we reached it at like 7 o'clock. So I'll officially just call the meeting to order now at 7:07. Just the Airtable did get updated, so for folks who weren't seeing the licensing results, they're now there. As are the agenda and the minutes. So is there a motion to adopt tonight's agenda?
Motion.
I heard.
Motion first.
No, I'm.
Let me Diaz.
Oh, I'm familiar with you, thank you, Lauren. That's 7, okay, who seconded it? Seems just seconded it.
And then for our June 2025 minutes. Did I make that wrong? Yeah, so June 2025 minutes are listed on the line item, obviously for June 24th for that meeting. Is there a motion to adopt those?
Motion.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
You said
No,
it again.
I-
Okay, that, okay, good tag team.
Any objections for either? All right, hearing none, they are adopted. So we're gonna move on over to our district managers report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Always it's a pleasure being here and report as the district manager. I hope that everybody had a good summer. We did. It was very hot and we enjoyed it. First, I need to share with you that the Department of Environmental Protection report last week at the District Service Cabinet meeting that the water service and the street areas were repaired after a big water main happened on Friday, September 12th. There was a water main break on Dykeman and Nagel. And according to Umberto, he never was in certain type of water main because it was two water main that happened the same day, very nearby. And it took a few hours in order for the Department of Environmental Protection to restore the water service and to repair the street. He said that everything has been repaired and everything should be working fine. Nevertheless, if anyone has any problem with water pressure in that area, or there is any problem with the street, please let me know to contact the Department of Environmental Protection and they can go back and repair. The MTA reported last week at the District Service Cabinet meeting that the automated camera enforcement, ACE, on bus routes has been expanded to Washington Heights and Inwood on Broadway and Amsterdam. So all of the buses routes on Broadway and Amsterdam, they are using the ACE, that is the automated camera enforcement. The automated camera enforcement is a camera mounted on the buses, and they take a video of the street of the route. If they see any vehicle that is double parked or is on the bus lane or the bus stop, they will record it. And if the vehicle is being observed for more than 2.5 minutes in double parking, a violation will be issued to the property owner or the registered owner of the vehicle. And if the vehicle is on the bus stop for more than 5 minutes, they will be issued the violation to the registered or record of the vehicle. I had the experience to get one violation the day of the National Night Out on Amsterdam Avenue. I was working there. There was no parking. I was there with the office, and we were there working. And I dispute the violation, but I didn't know that it was good. So the liaison for the MTA told me that's very good that you reported that you disputed, and they have a dispute process. You can dispute the double parking violation, and you have a few defenses that you can use. If you have evidence that your commercial vehicle was loading or unloading for no more than 20 minutes and was not blocking the only lane of travel in the same direction, or if you have evidence of a sudden mechanical breakdown or unexpected medical emergency that necessarily force you to go to the park, or if you were complying with the direction of law enforcement personnel, or if you have evidence that the vehicle in violation was clearly trying to park in a legal parking space. I didn't know why I was seeing people, many vehicles double park in the district, and they cover the license plate, or they open the trunk. I didn't know that was the reason I get this violation. Hopefully that I did get dismissed because I was working and fire department vehicles, police vehicles, they were double parked there because really was no park, and we were working there doing city businesses. Now, then I need to pay the $50 fine. But just to inform, that this enforcement has been expanded to our district, and the both routes on Broadway and Amsterdam, they are enforcing this very, very, very heavy. And finally, New York City DOT started the works to make the Audubon Plaza adjacent to our office a permanent plaza. Last Monday, the 22nd in the morning, there was a sign that was posed all along 166th Street between St. Nicholas and Audubon, saying there was a toll zone from September 22nd to October 13th. But did not set any time. People around there in every neighborhood, they were raising and asking us all day long what's going on. I took a photo of that because really doesn't make sense that DOT placed a sign there, pro zones, from Monday, September 22nd until October 13th with no time. And if your car being towed, don't worry, you're not gonna get a fine, you just look for the car. So I request to DOT to clarify the matters. I still waiting. I sent an email, a picture, and left a voicemail. But every day when we come to the office, we see that they have been doing some work on the plaza. They are cleaning to repave it. They call it it's clarified. They remove all the marking that were there before. They place a new marking, expanding the plaza, and taking away the parking that were on the area of the plaza, but really was no parking that people was using as the parking, and they expand the planters. So the final installation is work started with DOT. I hope I can have more information to share with you, but this is what I have now. This is the end of my report. Is there any questions? I don't see any questions. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
We're gonna go on ahead to the reports from elected officials. I'll pass the mic to Anthony.
Thank you, Chair. So we're gonna start with the three that are online, starting with Tatiana McGuire, who represents Assemblymember Manny de los Santos. As a reminder, each representative has 3 minutes to provide their report. Tatiana, you can begin.
Okay, hello everyone. It's going to be a quick little introduction. So I just wanted to say hello everyone. My name is Tatiana McGuire. I'm the legislative aide for Manny de los Santos. I work closely with the assembly member, both in Albany and in the district, supporting his work on legislation while also staying connected to the community. Recently, he secured funding for the Mitchell-Lama apartments, which was a total of $8.4 million to protect affordable housing for families in our district. We are going to continue the fight for affordable housing in Albany with the Mitchell-Lama Affordability and Protection Act, which is going to create lower interest rates for states' loans and for critical repairs and green updates, require cap on maintenance and increase and to keep homes affordable. So that's just some of the facts on the bill to give you guys a sort of an idea on what we're working on when we go upstate. And if you have any questions or concerns about like Mitchell-Lama, like what took place, the legislation, the funding, and how we continue to fight towards making it a statewide thing. I also wanted to just quickly talk about a couple of events we got coming up. So October 3rd, we have Manny on Your Block on 207 on Broadway. And then we have another Manny on Your Block on October 17th, which will be 172nd in St. Nicholas. And yeah, I just wanted to basically just introduce myself and let you guys know that I will be the main point person for the legislation this upcoming year. And if you have any questions or concerns or need help or trying to understand any type of legislation, or you have any legislative ideas, want to know about budget funding. I'm your point person in the office. And I'll just put my email address in the chat so everybody has access to it. But yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Tatiana. Do you have any questions for Tatiana? Yes, we have one in the room. Go ahead.
Someone to get a visual of the speaker?
So the question from a board member was whether we'd be able to get a visual of you, if you'd be willing to put your camera on at this time.
Oh yes, I'm so sorry. I'm right now volunteering at a basketball or drill because I used to play basketball, so like not in the best setting, but this is what I look like.
Really appreciate it. Thank you. Any other
Of
questions?
course.
No other questions. Thank you so much for your time. Next up is Ian Boldeston from Councilmember Shauna Bray's office. Ian, are you still there? Okay, we'll move on and come back to you. So following Ian was Eva Santos Velos from Councilmember Carmen De La Rosa's office.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Eva Santos Veloz. I am the new Director of Community Affairs for Councilmember Carmen De La Rosa. I'm glad to be here tonight in Zoom. So I'm gonna run over a few points. First is on the legislative side, there is a joint hearing with the Committee on Civil Service and Labor and the Committee on Housing and Buildings on Monday, September 29th at 10 a.m. This is for the Too Tough to Die resolution in support of the Daily News journalists who are fighting to better wages and gutting of staff and resources by venture capital firm, Alden Global Capital. And also, second is that the New York City Council, they voted to override the Mayor Adam vetoes of Introduction 47B, Introduction 1133A, and Introduction 1135A. This legislation that together will repeal the excessive misdemeanor criminal penalties for street vending and extend the wage and workplace protections for food delivery workers, matching the current standards for grocery delivery workers. So this is a win for working class New Yorkers who stimulate our economy and should not be disproportionately targeted for trying to survive in an affordable crisis. So, but if you do need more information on this legislatives that are currently passing, please visit the councilnyc.gov to learn more about that. And now in the community affairs side, we in 186, the basketball court began renovations a month ago, and it's expected to be completed next year. So that is great news for 186 and the community. During the last couple of weeks, right before school started, we hosted our back to school backpack events in Dykeman and IS 53 yard and in the Marble Hill playgrounds. Last week, we were also with the DEP in Dykeman, just passing out the comptroller water and damage loss claim form during this big water rupture that happened. So if you need any help, please don't hesitate to email me. I'm gonna drop my email or visit the office so I can hand out the form for you to make those claims. Now, some of the budget wins are for this year are the Amelia Gorman Park rehabilitation for $3 million. It's more than that, but we'll have more details for the next meeting. Also for the Fort Tyrant Park, done $1.3 million, which we just had a call last week for the planning of this amazing new park for the dog run. So excited about that. So also the J Hood Wright Entrance Plaza, which got $1.5 million, and also the dog run with $2 million. Some of the upcoming events that are happening is this Friday. We're collaborating with the Bryce March. It's happening Friday, September 26th. It's starting at Holy Roots Church at 9:30. For those that want to wear a gown, you're welcome to pick up one at 8 a.m. at the church and walk with a beautiful crowd for a great action. I'll be also dropping the march route in the link in the chat in case you need that. Also, this Saturday, we're going to be having an immigration date of action from at 10 a.m. We'll be hosting a press conference in Quisqueya Plaza. and then follow with a flyer distribution for about 2 hours, just to inform the community of their rights now that we are in a very critical times.
Thank you so
And
much.
then yeah, thank
Put
you.
information in the chat or in the resources section, that'd be great. All right,
I
and
will.
I think Ian is no longer on the Zoom, so we will move on to our in-person representative.
Excuse me, you
Oh.
forgot about me.
I'm sorry, and who are you with?
Tiffany Brown from the mayor's office.
The mayor's office, perfect. Sorry, we didn't see you put your credentials in your name. You can go ahead. You'll have 3 minutes to speak.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Again, this is Tiffany Brown, the Manhattan Borough Director for Community Affairs in the Mayor's Office. And I just have 2 things I want to report on. The first being our great Mayor Eric Adams and New York City Police Department Commissioner Jessica Tisch announced that the NYPD has removed more than 4,000 illegal firearms from New York City streets since the start of 2025 alone. This year's seizures brings the total number of illegal firearms seized since the start of the Adams administration in January 2022 to over 23,700 guns. This success has helped drive a 54% decrease in shootings and 34% reduction in homicides citywide under the Adams administration. Aside from that, our great Mayor Eric Adams and the New York City Department of Sanitation Acting Commissioner Javon Logan and New York City Department of Finance Commissioner Preston Nyblack announced that owners of 1 and 2 family homes who received the basic or enhanced school tax relief credit or exemption will receive a $59.30 check to pay for the cost of their official NYC bin. Checks are due to hit mailboxes in the coming weeks. Eligible homeowners will not have to do anything to receive the checks, as DOF will automatically be sending them out. And that concludes my reporting, unless someone has a question for me.
Do any board members have questions for Tiffany from the mayor's office? Okay, seeing none, thank you so much.
I have a question. I'm online.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see her.
Thank you, first vice chair. Yes, hey Tiffany.
How you doing?
I'm okay. So that's great, the number of guns off the street. But do you know of any plans that the mayor has for actually stopping the guns from before they get into, New York City? That would be great.
You mean from the pipeline?
Yes,
Well,
because
that
while we're
that's
talking about,
I'm
it would
sorry
be
to
great.
cut you off. That would be great, but he doesn't. I mean, that's more state and federal. I mean, when we're talking about the pipeline coming in, he can only control what's going on in the city. I mean, that's your city council, that's your congressman, that's those electeds. But I mean, he's doing everything that he can do to be proactive when it comes to these guns that are on the street. I just say, please get in touch with the other electeds as well.
Yes, I'm definitely in touch with all of them.
Okay.
Because city council is local as
Right.
well, right? So we rely on our mayor to have these conversations with the state.
And he has, and he does on a daily basis.
That's why I was
as he continues to get the guns off the street.
That's why I was asking, because it wasn't in your report. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, and then we have one question from a board member inside the room.
How you doing?
Thank you for being here tonight. Can you clarify a little bit what measure or mechanism were used to remove those firearms from the street, and what community were mostly impacted by it?
Tiffany, were you able to hear that?
He said, can I identify what mechanisms were used?
Find the firearms, and then in what communities were mostly were they found?
Well, impacted, well, I mean, coming from all communities throughout the 5 boroughs, and some of the mechanisms that were used were um when a lot of these illegal smoke shops. That's one way that some of the guns got off the street, because as they discovered when they were going inside a lot of these illegal smoke shops, they were not only finding illegal paraphernalia, but they were also finding guns. There are task force that are out here that are also um, taking down some of the gang activities. A lot of guns I know came from a lot of the gangs that got taken down throughout the 5 boroughs. Also, uh, it's a lot of task force out here that NYPD has that are doing just their tactics on how they're tracing and identifying where these firearms are at, and are able to retrieve them. If that kind of answers your question.
We have one more question in the room, and then Indiana, I see your hand as well, and then we'll close it.
Hi, once a point of information, when you talk about guns, are you also including the umbrella of ghost guns?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
in that number is ghost guns. I don't have the exact number of ghost guns that have been collected, but that number is included in the 23,000.
With the young man that was killed in Queens, I am concerned about guns as well on the street. I want to know what can be done outside of the gun buyback to increase the visuals of the pipeline so that they can actually get off the street a lot quicker. I am concerned for our youth. They are going back to school and these things are an issue. So is that going to happen? And also I'm open to having a conversation of what can be done for the upcoming holidays, the kids out of school, something so that we can have it doing other things.
In terms of the guns at the schools, is that what you're?
Yes, the activities and what the kids are doing, just opening up for a conversation of what can be done.
Okay, there's a lot of activities that are out there for our kids to be involved in. I know it is a major concern for the mayor when these youths are bringing guns into the schools. So that one of the things he's done is he has beefed up security in a lot of the schools to make sure, and to try to have more officer visibility, so that things, so that can deter certain things from happening around the schools. And if you want to get more into the programming that's out there for our youth, me and you can have a conversation offline, because I don't want to take up that much time this evening.
Thank you so much. And we'll take one final question from Indiana, and then we will move on to the next selected. Indiana, take it away.
Thank you very much. I was wondering if you had any numbers about the work of the quality of life, like patrol teams that were rolled out over the summer, specifically any information about the kinds of enforcement activity that they're engaging here in Upper Manhattan.
I don't have the numbers because we do have the Q team. I know that's addressing a lot of the quality of life issues, but I can speak to about 3 weeks ago myself with the chair from CB12 and the 181st Street bid director, Mr. Medina. Along with my office, we did a walkthrough with sanitation NYPD to address and have a look at some of the quality of life issues that are taking place in your district. And some of the things that came out was the illegal vending that's going on, the idle cars that don't move, the trucks that you have up there that just haven't moved. Some of the streets we did discover had a lot of needed some attention when it comes to sanitation. So we are looking at and addressing some of the issues in your district. And again, if you have something that you would like for myself, my director of quality of life in my office to take a look at, please feel free to reach out to me.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I would just say any kind of statistics about the kinds of, matters that you're addressing through that would be very helpful. Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk after we can have a conversation maybe tomorrow. You can send me an email or, reach out to me and we can have a further conversation.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. All right, so we'll now move on to the in-person elected officials. So that starts with Noah Coy from Public Advocate Williams' office. Okay, and you have 3 minutes once you begin.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone had a great summer. And I just want to start out by saying Shana Tova to everyone here or anywhere who celebrated Rosh Hashanah. And I also want to acknowledge Hispanic Heritage Month as well. So I have a couple of legislative updates to share. So both from last month in August. So in August, the City Council passed 2 of the public advocates bills, both related to the rights of transgender patients in healthcare. The 2 bills are Intro 0628-A and Intro 0629-A. So the first bill requires the city to post signs on an individual's rights to be referred to by a preferred name, title, gender, and pronoun in city hospitals. And the second bill requires training healthcare staff on care for trans and gender nonconforming people. And then the second legislative update I have is that last month as well, the public advocate hosted a town hall with citywide health organizations regarding the Legionnaires outbreak that occurred in Harlem. So during that town hall, the advocate and the citywide health organizations addressed concerns from residents, as well as answered their questions regarding Legionnaire's disease. And that town hall can be viewed on our office's website at advocate.nyc.gov/blog. And then the last update I want to share is not necessarily legislative, but last Thursday, the public advocate, along with other elected officials such as Comptroller Brad Lander and members of the public, were arrested following a protest at 26 Federal Plaza, which is a field office for ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. So yeah, that is all I have to share tonight, but if anyone has any questions, I'd be more than happy to take them.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Any plans, I just want to are there any plans for the public advocate to take legal action against any of the arrests, calling it an unlawful arrest, or are they?
That is a great question. I don't know the answer, but I'll try to find it out, and next month I'll report on that.
Thank you.
Of course. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Noah.
Thanks, Noah.
Okay, next is Edgar Tavares from Senator Robert Jackson's office.
Good evening, CB12. My name is Edgar from Senator Jackson's office. The first thing I wanted to mention, tomorrow we'll be co-hosting a New York City TLC event across the street from 5030 Broadway, where our office is at. The purpose of this event is where TLC will become making its way uptown to provide its services to drivers, to make it more accessible, and to provide an opportunity to resolve issues if possibly on the spot, without the need of the driver to travel downtown. This is kind of like in extension to how we try to bring more accessibility to resources that people normally have to go downtown for. You can come get them uptown tomorrow. Tomorrow, Thursday, between 12 and 2 o'clock. And that's across the street from 5030 Broadway. That's where our office is at. Another thing is, I want to highlight some of the funding that we did. Some of the organizations you already know, like the Dyckman Farmhouse, the United Palace, the Museum of Hispanic Society, and other institutions and agencies that either help with the cultural vibrancy or provide resources to our constituents. Some meetings that we are looking forward to have to do with meeting with different stakeholders throughout the state of New York City, of New York State. Being that Senator Jackson is chair of the Civil Service and Pensions Committee, these meetings have to do with improving the public workforce for all of New York State. Another thing that we will be doing has to do with taking a tour at the local HRA office, which is located by 216th and 10th Avenue. Many of the tenants that we help either need assistance with one-shot deals. One-shot deals could take an average anywhere between an hour or more, depending on the number of people in an apartment and the amount of information that is necessary. We've also been able to identify different aspects of the process where people have difficulty getting either contact with agents or getting the services that they need in order to get the process going. So we help a lot with these type of situations, and we are going to be having a meeting soon with them. And that also, yeah, so that, you know, besides with one-shot deals, that also deals with SNAP benefits, utilities assistance, and other things like that. The last thing I'll mention real quickly is that we are a party in the rate case against Con Edison, and everyone is feeling the squeeze. Everybody understands that their light bill is going up, and our office has constantly been involved in these hearings, challenging these increases. And due to the expertise of one of my colleagues, electeds from Westchester have also joined us in the rate case against Con Edison, and we will have more information when it's available. Good night.
Thank you.
Oh, we have one question.
Quickly. Hi, thank you so much. You mentioned the senator work visiting HRA offices and benefit. One incredible benefit that New York City has is the childcare through the facilitated enrollment. Now they have moved the application from a paper-based to the online application because it's faster and whatnot. However, the application is a crime. It is really inaccessible. It's difficult to navigate. It's discouraging. The senator looking into it to try to do something to make the application a little bit less confusing, demanding, and so extraordinarily discouraging.
I can honestly say this is the first time that I hear about that in particular, but we can definitely speak of,
That would be great.
and look into that for sure.
Thank you.
And make it something that we could prioritize in that meeting. So.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thanks, Edgar. And then we will conclude with Porfirio from the Manhattan Borough President's Office.
Thank you. So welcome back, everyone, from your summer vacation. I hope it was a good one. And for those of you who observed, happy Rosh Hashanah. Borough President Mark Levine is proud to announce that over $55 million in capital funding were allocated across the borough. This included over $15 million to our cultural institutions, more than $14 million to support our public schools, over $9 million to enhance our parks and libraries, and over $10 million for vital housing and social services. I would urge you to go directly to our website, which is www.manhattanbp.nyc.gov, and there you will find a full list of all the awards. VP Levine also opted in AM New York, calling for a new plan to incorporate Upper Manhattan into a robust transportation system between Hudson Ferry Service connecting Upper Manhattan to the northern New Jersey. The Legionnaire's disease outbreak clearly showed us that public health is vital, and we were concerned that existing regulations were not strong enough to prevent the cluster and loss of life. We are glad that the DOH, MH is taking a proactive approach in producing and proposing stronger regulations and enforcement, such as frequent testing and increased fines for building owners who are not following the rules. We monitored that very, very closely, and we were actually one of the first offices that put the word out. The Manhattan Borough President's Office is once again doing their Community Board Leadership Training Series. It is scheduled for the week of Monday, October 20th through Friday, October 24th, to provide tools, instructions, and best practices for the community board members and interested Manhattanites to learn about local government and its processes. The series aims to help current and new community board members to increase their knowledge of EEO, COIB, and skills to combat implicit bias. And this year's series will include sessions from IDO, archiving and passing out institutional knowledge, emergency readiness with Homeland Security using topography as a tool, and also navigating the HPD DOB portals and the U.S. Census Bureau's data. As you know, all 3 casino requests were turned down. That would have seriously affected our world famous theater district, and so the BP voted no. We just had our historic United Together LGBTQ Business Summit in partnership with the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce New York chapter, Sunnyside Queens, and TD Bank. We were also joined by the Bronx, Queens Borough President and the Public Advocate's Office. We had over 350 attendees. Tomorrow, we have an event to honor our Hispanic heritage. It will be at the Sugar Hill Children's Museum at 898 St. Nicholas Avenue. Doors open at 5:30, starts at 6, with a special presentation by Ballet Hispanico. I urge you all to attend. It's going to be a phenomenal event. You can reach me at p.figuroa@manhattanbp.nyc.gov. The telephone number is 212-669-8300. Yes.
So I saw the op-ed about the ferry, and I'm curious what the borough president's next steps are with that. Where is there a process going on, and how can folks express support or help, participate in that?
So the community boards that directly were affected by it were also included in sharing that information. There have been conversations with them. At this point, it would be, picking up a reso, supporting it, and so with city council.
But ultimately, the decision would be whose?
That has to go through city council.
It's city council.
And also because it's DOT, and also it would have to go to the state because of the connection with New Jersey transit system would have to be involved as well. Okay, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Porfirio. All right, so now we will move on to our public session. We'll start with the in-person with Danita Nichols from the New York Public Library. And as she is making her way up here, just a reminder, each person has exactly 2 minutes to speak. Once you're called on and begin speaking, it will be 2 minutes from there.
I don't usually carry up so much stuff. That makes it hard. So I'm Benita Nichols. I'm from the town libraries. That is Washington Heights Library, 1000 St. Nicholas, Fort Washington Library at 535 West 179th Street, and Inwood Library, my library at 4790 Broadway. Fall, community board comes back, and it's a big time in libraries as well. We got back to school, we've got National Library Card Registration Month, we've got Welcoming Week happening in September, and it all culminates in Banned Book Week in October. So, which of course is a more serious an issue nowadays than we ever thought it would be. So we are having major fall engagement activities in all our libraries. I have some information here, just sort of general information. You can go into any of the libraries, find out so much more about the free programming and services and everything all at once. And while supplies last, kids can get a lovely NYPL book bag, which may not be that much left, but there's still some just in time for if it already lost or broke their book bag, which is what we're doing. And unusually so, we have something for grown-ups, which is a sports bag with some useful little tidbits inside. So go into any of your libraries for those things. And also, as back to school, it means our after school, our NYPL after school is starting back up again next week. This is a drop-in program. It's not a registration program. A family can use it because there's one assignment that's just screwing them up in the school year, or they can come every day. Starts next week. All 3 of your local libraries have one. So we want to make sure that everybody knows about it. Huge success last year. Yeah. So.
Thanks so much, Tanita. And that concludes in person. So now we will go to the virtual public session. We will start with Tina Bierstead to speak on Kiskia Plaza. I will give you the ability to speak, and then once you begin speaking, you'll have exactly 2 minutes. All right, you should be able to unmute yourself now.
Yeah, hi, Tina Bierstead here, Inwood resident for 28 years. Love it, love my community. Thank you to everyone on the board for serving, and thank you for letting me speak. I'm trying to make it within my 2 minutes. I'd like to address the persistent and the unsolved issues regarding Kiskia Plaza. We all know what they are. Amplified mass concerts and events conducted at ear-splitting volume, attended by hundreds of people, blocking streets, bike lanes, and sidewalks. On days with no events, the area is still occupied by police barricades and stuff stored by some of the Dykeman restaurants. In short, public space is appropriated by private businesses for the purpose of maximizing revenue, but at the expense of the local community. This is not acceptable. There's a rumor going around that these issues are permitted to persist, so long-time residents can be forced out of their rent-stabilized apartments. Whether that's true or not, it is a fact that long-term rent-stabilized residents have been and continue to be involuntarily displaced due to what we could call a communal breach of the warranty of habitability. This is also not acceptable. We've now seen a second lawsuit alleging corruption involving city officials, the NYPD, and local late-night restaurant and bar owners in a literal pay-to-play scheme. And this time, people directly involved in the operation of Kiskia Plaza were named. My hope and my request to you is that you will take steps to ensure the safety, comfort, and peace of all residents of this amazing community, not just private business interests. Please exercise empathy, put yourself in the shoes of folks who have no power and whose interest you are tasked with safeguarding. Please revisit the resolution to regulate Kiskia Plaza activities, and please do the right thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, next up is Laura Dagan Ayala, also to speak about.
Excuse me, Anthony.
Yes.
I'm supposed to be on the list.
And you are.
Thank you.
Okay. Next is Laura Dagan Ayala, speaking about Kiskia Plaza. You should be able to unmute yourself, and once you
Yes,
begin.
I'm ready to speak. Thank you to the board. My name is Laura Dagan Ayala. I am a resident of 38 years in Inwood. I'm also a member of Inwood Indivisible, as well as La Coalición en Defensa de los Inmigrantes. For much of the year, I endure illegally amplified, often uncalendared events that run all day and into the night, often more than one day in the weekend. Meanwhile, those responsible for creating Alcohol Alley live peacefully in their quiet New Jersey or Riverdale neighborhoods, able to control their quality of life. Cascadia Plaza is not what New York City meant for these plazas to be. The DOT created them to add not only to support small businesses, among other things, they're meant to support use by children and seniors. Instead, it becomes an outdoor nightclub with decibels in the 90s and hundreds, characterized by public drinking and hookah smoking, not exactly child and senior friendly. Intended to reduce traffic, it causes terrible congestion. Intended to encourage walking and cycling, Cascadia Plaza directly encourages as much driving as possible with supposed valet parking, which consists of guys charging you to double park your car, park it in no parking zones, gas stations, and even fire hydrants. I have pics. Recent news reinforces the concern. In addition to last year's nightlife czar scandal, now the major owner and a key figure behind Cascadia Plaza has been linked to reports of Turkeygate, the fundraising scandal involving pressure on local businesses. This raises further doubts about whether the owners who are profiting from this free public land have our interests at heart. I urge the board to uphold prior agreements that were negotiated between residents and owners with Councilmember Carmen de la Rosa's assistance, and turn this neighborhood back over to the families, the seniors, the children, the workers who deserve peace in their homes and neighborhoods.
Thank you. Next up is Kate London, speaking about Cascadia Plaza. Kate London, you should be able to unmute yourself and then you'll have 2 minutes.
Yes, thank you. My name is Kate London. I live at 30 Seaman Avenue and have for 11 years. I recognize that everyone on this board works hard. However, today I rise on an issue where our representatives have fallen short. As someone who welcomed the idea of Cascadia Plaza as a place for building community, it pains me to say that the activity at the plaza has gone so far beyond community and beyond reason that it must be shut down. Give us back our parking spots and give us back our peace. For 5 years, we have been tortured by overly loud, overly crowded events that make it impossible to have peace in our own homes. The frequency and volume of these events has steadily increased to the point of having events on multiple days almost every weekend this summer. The amplified volume of these events shakes windows and prevents normal conversation in our homes. They sometimes start at noon and go until 10 p.m. or more. How are we to rest, to relax, to have the quiet enjoyment of our homes that the law provides? Sadly, our elected officials and those in this body who have failed to regulate the plaza have, by their inaction, become complicit in this sonic torture of our neighbors. If elected officials lived where I live, this abuse would not be happening. Which brings me to the question, who does this activity benefit? For what purpose is it allowed to continue? Stop the torture of your neighbors. Damage has already been done. After 5 years of this torture, I call for an immediate 5-year moratorium on all events in the plaza and consideration of returning the land to its previous use. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Next up is Tanya Bonner, representing the Waukee Inwood Task Force and speaking about Audubon Plaza, which, by the way, is related to Resolution B on tonight's agenda. Tanya, you should be able to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm here to speak. Again, my name is Tanya Bonner, representing Inwood Task Force on Noise. I am here to speak about Audubon Plaza. And as I've said before, it's sad, but I know that this will get pushed through, even though community residents have extreme concerns about it. But for the record, these things need to be said. Just for the record, this plaza has had issues, including having been caught having unpermitted events that had to be shut down by the NYPD. I have all visual and evidence of these violations. Also, the rules and regulations of those plazas, they are not being followed at all. And I would also say that this decision to move this forward has been based on a survey of 250 people, which is ridiculous because there are 250 people just in my building alone. No one has asked our building, and I live down the street, anything about how this plaza has impacted us or what we feel about it. And I was asked people who do not live anywhere near the vicinity to not feel that they have the right to make decisions about something that does not impact them directly. I live here. Businesses are there and they are being impacted and it is being ignored. I am extremely disappointed that this board passed on an opportunity to hold these plazas accountable to the community. And again, I have all receipts that show the violations, the concert level, like it's in Madison Square Garden, that have been happening at the plazas. And I ask that this board do not approve this plaza tonight, though I'm sure it will be. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. And last is Jim Berlin to speak about, Legionnaire's disease. Jim, you have 2 minutes.
There's a class of about 400 people who caught Legionnaire's disease during the last round that, killed people in Harlem. In fact, 34 people were killed. I'm speaking for this class because I'm one of them. I was in the hospital on oxygen therapy and antibiotics for over 6 days. And the tragedy, the outrage about this situation is we know how to prevent Legionnaire's disease bacteria from growing. We absolutely know how to do it. And yet all these people got sick and many people died. My statistics, by the way, come from Google. You can check on them. And all this is because people who have a responsibility to keep this bacteria under control did not do their jobs. And had they done their jobs, 34 people would still be alive. And the hundreds of us who've caught this very, very terrible illness, you can probably hear my voice, we would not have gotten sick. So, and now I heard that, other speakers mention that, they're going to do this and they're going to do that. But, the enforcement, if you don't do your job, you're killing people. And that's got to stop. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. And that concludes tonight's public session. Thank you, everyone.
Anthony. So onto tonight's committee resolutions. Real brief and quick is Resol A, which is a zoning variance, extension of zoning variance, which we do every 10 years for the parking lot that's on Hillside Avenue by the new development, which is right by, when you turn the corner on the post office on 190, what is that? Well, that's Hillside, sorry. Hillside Post Office up the block, there's a small parking lot. And so this item didn't make it to the committee agenda on time for land use, which is why it came to the executive committee. As you can read, it is pretty standard. We've also included reference to the 2016 one. They don't have any changes to that parking lot, so there aren't any more cars being added or any new attendants or any kind of like modification in the space itself and how it's being used. So it's pretty straightforward. Don't know if there's any questions on that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why is it a constant zoning variance? Is there a way of them just applying for a permanent zoning commission?
I think I know the answer, and if I got it, let me know when.
So-
The question was, wait, can I answer to see if I got it right?
Okay.
Thank you. So the area, if I remember correctly, is zoned for residential, and because it's a purely parking lot use, they apply for variance. Is that it?
Yes.
Sorry, thank you. I'm proud just because it's a lot of like letters and acronyms and numbers, so I was like, ooh, I got this. But yeah, so that's why every 10 years for the last like 40 plus years, they come.
50.
50, there you go, yeah. They come to the community board for that.
Isn't there a way of
No, there is not.
No, because then they changed the whole, so that it's only for residential, that means that the city would have to go through a really lengthy process of changing the zoning laws or in this, and the application in this area. That's what it is. Yeah, so that's Reso 8. Leo is sick tonight, but I know Noemi got some notes from him to read out. All right, come on down. For Reso B from traffic on the Audubon Plaza. Oh. All right, good evening, everyone. I will be reading the notes from our chair from Traffic and Transportation tonight. Is the rest of no, it's not mine. So I'll just read the notes and then we'll have the reso up and then you guys can see it. It's also on air tags. Check it out. DOT implemented the Audubon Avenue open street in 2024 with full closure, planters, seating, and programming partners. The partners ended up not working out and the DOT continued programming efforts. It has hosted events like Car-Free Earth Day, Hispanic Heritage Month celebrations, street labs, pop-ups, and health outreach. The DOT now proposes to make this a permanent pedestrian plaza at West 165th Street and Audubon Avenue. The plan includes installing granite blocks, planters, movable furniture, and roadway murals by local artists, and curbside extension on 167 and 168. The DOT collected 258 surveys with 80 in support of the public realm improvements. Residents and merchants raised concerns about parking, noise, sanitation, and accessibility. The Traffic and Transportation Committee supports the idea of a permanent plaza conditional, with the understanding that the DOT must collaborate with the community to address these issues. The key conditions include identifying a local maintenance and programming partner to complement HORT, which is a HORT, with the Horticultural Society. Yes. Ensuring a loading and unloading zone for residents, park, transit, pharmacies, dentists, and deliveries on 165th. Strengthen coordination with the 33rd precinct to enforce on noise, loitering, and also illegal parking. Work with sanitation to provide and service bins for trash, recycling, and compost. SAPO considers restricting permits events until 7 p.m. to respect nearby residents. Guaranteed an ADA compliance design, safe bike racks, and shaded areas. Committed to equitable upgrades at other community open street plazas such as Plaza Americas, Plaza de las Americas, 207, and Quisqueya. This resolution considers supporting and welcomes public realm investment, but we expect DOT to continue working with us to ensure that the plaza reflects community needs and priorities. And those are the notes from our committee. Thank you. Any questions?
See.
I'd like to, thank you. On the ninth point, equity across plazas, I'd like to suggest an amendment that after saying address community concerns by prioritizing similar capital and maintenance improvements, that we include the following: and establishing clear policies on permitted and unpermitted events.
Wouldn't that be under 5? Is that 5 or is that 9?
That would be as part of number 9 under equity across plazas.
Extending what we're saying in 2.9.
Okay.
Sure. Amendment, accepted.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, thoughts, suggestions?
Just clarification, this is 165th Street between Audubon and what street?
No, it's It's on Audubon between 165th and 166.
Yes. Corner.
Yes, thank you. Check. I'll check the chest. Oh, wait, you have one more. There is there. There's the same. Oh, yeah, makes sense. You could just ask her. Yes, questions from online. Go for it, Elisa.
Yeah, I want to make sure that I understand what Steve is suggesting or asking for a friendly amendment on. Is he saying that the type of events would apply to all plazas, including the one in 185th, Haven, and all of them? Is that what he's suggesting, that we are included in the red zone?
So the question you're asking is related to Steve's suggestion? Yeah.
Well, the language, yes, my intent is that it should apply to every plaza. And the language here, for whatever reason, specifies or says particularly Plaza de las Americas and West 207th Street Plaza. But I do not see that wording as precluding that my language apply to all the plazas.
All right, thank you, Steve.
Yes, am I correct in saying these are 4 plazas right now that are instituted in our community?
Actually, five.
There are 5.
5.
So we have Quisqueya, and this one, and what's the 5th one?
There's one on Post Avenue. There's one on Haven Avenue.
Haven Plaza would be the 5th.
There's another one on 185th Street. We have 6. Yeah, we just figured out we're up to 6.
So we're adding that to be amended.
May I?
Oh.
May I express a concern?
Yes.
The constant reconfiguring our parking spaces for plazas is a big concern. Between the bike paths and now all of these plazas and all the parking spaces being eliminated is extremely unfair for individuals of this community that own vehicles.
No, thank you. Anyone else? All right, thank you guys. See you though.
Thank you so much, Chair. Before I start, I would like to thank former committee members, Joel, Noemi, and Carl for the contribution made to licensing. Thank you so much. We have a new member, Melissa Smith, welcome on board, and thank you once again for the contribution. If by any chance I missed anything, please feel free to chime in as committee members that were present. What we have is before you, practically about 20 solar solutions on the floor. We as a committee are a little bit concerned, Madam Chair, that the 34 precinct was not present. As you know, we depend on Intel to formulate and come to a decision once we come to the final vote. We would like to request that they send an invitation. I'm sure you guys are trying to agree at any certain. But please let them know that this is one that they come from. In essence, some of the resolutions that you have before you, the committee requested some stipulations which are required to them to submit written documentation to the office. Based on the feedback that we got back from the office, those documents were properly submitted, and they have to do with completing the questionnaire and or submitting proof of some limits to the board. That has been accomplished. Agenda item number 19, we did not approve because they submitted an incomplete application, and representatives and all owners were not present to answer our questions. And for that reason, we are recommending for the board not to approve.
16. Yeah, 16.
16, maybe I have to use here. Thank you so much. So on that note, I would call to see if you members have any questions. I'll start in the back, then to Steve. Please, you have the floor.
My question has to do with is there a follow-up after we vote and we vote affirmatively or not? Is there a follow-up to make sure that they are abiding by the codes that they're supposed to abide by?
There is no follow-up officially. We do send the recommendation to SLA. It will be up to SLA to see if they are following up with the steps that we put in place. Those steps that we put in place will print it on the license. So it's important to know that any stipulations that we have or request that the merchants will follow through. If there is any resident and or committee members that know about some issues, you're free to come to the committee and remind us about specific issues. And I'm sure the committee will be open to hear those concerns and take action on them.
And that SLA stands for what?
The State Liquor Authority.
Thank you.
I'll just add one point to that with the stipulations. So we've been requiring all establishments to post a good neighbor sign over the last year or so. So when all of those establishments come back for their renewal, which is every 2 years, we will that they actually posted that as promised.
And if I may add also on that, Anthony, those tips should be in place. And we often request that the merchant submit proof by way of a picture that those stipulations are in fact executed. Steve.
Yes, thank you. I have a correction and then I have 3 questions. In my agenda for tonight, item number 9 is listed as the Garden Cafe. But in your minutes, it says that the Garden Cafe was withdrawn. So I'm assuming that the correct item that we're voting on for number 9 is Mi Paso Centro Americano Corporation. I don't know what that establishment is, what it's what the title, what the name is on the storefront, but I assume it's that establishment and not the Garden Cafe. Is that correct?
Correct. The one that we have as a withdrawal is Salento Colombia Cafe.
But that comes elsewhere on the.
No, we don't just.
I mean, that's in addition to the Garden Cafe, which apparently was also withdrawn. So, number 13, I guess you referred to earlier that application ended up being signed. It came to the office and signed it.
I'm sorry, can you please restate?
On number 13, Geisha Sushi, I assume that was one of the ones you were referring to earlier, in which they came to the office and signed their application?
Right.
Okay. And with respect to the next one, Monomorum Typin, what a name, is the minutes indicate that a sound limiter was purchased. Do we know whether it was actually installed?
We request that they submit to purchase sound limiter with the intention that they're going to install. If by any way, chance or form, they do not install this particular requirement, in my end, at least how I will vote, it will be an immediate objection to it, because it has been stipulated and voted by the members.
But consistent with my colleague's question a little while ago, we then get a check to see whether it has been installed?
We do not have a mechanism in place to check that. But again, it's up to us and check with the particular merchants. If any doubts, you should bring it to a committee.
Yeah, well, I would recommend that we actually check to see that it's been installed. Since the noise issue is so important on Diamond Street, this I think is particularly important to do. And my last question is with respect to the sidewalk cafe at the Burgos restaurant, 206 Eichmann. I noticed in the minutes that we asked the other 2 cafe applicants when they will be closing, which I appreciate. And we then learned that both of them would be closing at 10 o'clock. But there's no such indication in the minutes concerning Burgos restaurant. Do we know when that sidewalk cafe will be closing?
All sidewalk cafe licenses are expected to abide by the Jackson rules, which means that they have to close all at a specific time. The same hours that you see in the previous applications, they're not listed on the minute. They should be in solutions.
Okay, but I don't know if that's 10 o'clock.
I believe it's 10 o'clock on Mondays through Sunday through Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday to 12 midnight.
All right, and so we believe that's what Burgos will be doing as well. All right, thank you.
And going back to your question, to the first question, we do ask that every single merchant that comes before a community board abide by putting up a phone number in front of the establishment, just to make sure that if there are any issues, noise, any other complaints, that they should direct those comments directly to the manager and owner. And there is a phone number printed, and it should be listed visibly at the front of all the establishments. If they're not in compliance with that, please feel free once again and go to the license committee. Anybody else online? Chair, I don't see anyone online.
Three.
I'm gonna start with you.
Go ahead.
13 is the.
Sorry, I did have a question. This is Indiana.
Let's start since you already started and then we'll go back.
Okay.
The geisha sushi one, remind me what time it was a time open change they wanted, right? To stay open later.
I'm sorry?
For geisha sushi, they were applying to be able to stay open later, right?
Correct.
And what was the time that you all had decided in the end on?
So it goes until 2 a.m.
2. Okay.
This is a question about number 4, the Gallery Gastro Bar, the renewal.
Yes.
I just looked them up and I see that they're open until 4 a.m. Is that something that has been in place all along? And have we received any complaints about noise?
So anytime there is a request to change the hours, they will have to come to the committee. If it's stated there in the application that they open at 4 o'clock, it has to be previously approved on. So they're open till 4 a.m.
And no noise violations?
There were no noise complaint issued, because the 34 precinct was not there, so we didn't know. But we didn't have like any residents and or committee members to complain about this establishment.
Sorry to cut. You pull the violations, right?
Sorry.
Like when you guys get the packet, you see the violations that's online.
Well, PE typically tells.
Oh, yeah. But there's no open, there's like, you'll know when there's open violations, so.
Yeah, you can go on the 3 months.
We'll go online and check right away.
I think that I follow up with your question, please.
Darling,
Do you have a question?
No, I don't have any questions.
Now we go to Indiana, and Diana, you have the floor. Indiana, for months.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Diana. I had a question about Salento. Are you able to share why they withdrew their application?
I'm going to allow some of the members that I cannot clearly recall. It was maybe the agenda item is listed here.
I have the notes if you'd like me to read it.
It was a renewal for on-premise restaurant wine license. Usually when we ask the merchant to withdraw, is either that the signs that they posted is the requirement of the board that it be posted in both languages. 2 of them post the public notice either in English and or Spanish only. So it has to be both.
I see.
The reason why we request that is that, the community has to know what's going on. And if the community is not fully informed about what's going on there, then we would therefore either seal the resolution, object to it, or ask the merchant to withdraw the application and come back next month.
Okay, so it wasn't, besides the posting, there weren't like other concerns raised by the community or anything like that?
No, as a matter of fact, we did receive some compliments from our committee members as being like a great establishment, but we cannot make any exceptions.
Okay, great. Yes, so I fully support them. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Chair.
Isidro.
Wayne, yes, please.
Yeah, just quickly, you mentioned earlier that on one of these resolutions, the committee's vote where you recommend that we change it. Could you just restate which one that is?
I don't think that I've
16 flipped, didn't it?
I think you were only pointing out that,
16 was
objections on 16.
That's it.
Not that you were changing anything.
Right, Wayne, we will not request.
So 16 is shown as an objection, and that is correct.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much.
Yes, it's a no.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay, Alexis. I'm just here so I can open new people.
Okay, time for roll call. Joel Abreu?
Yes to all. Sorry. Yes to all.
Joel Abreu, yes to all. Jamirna? Jamirna Ramirez?
Not present.
Richard Allman?
Not present.
Mary Anderson? Yes, Mary Anderson, yes to all. Jay Baez?
Not present.
Thank you. Jacob Danis?
Absent.
Radia Barnes?
Yes.
Radia Barnes, yes to all. Wayne Benjamin?
Yes to all.
Benjamin, yes to all. James Berlin? Jim Berlin?
Yeah, he's on mute.
There we go. I vote no on B, and I vote no on number 14, and yes to the rest.
Okay, Jim Berlin, no to Reso B, no to Reso 14, and yes to the rest.
Correct.
John Benitez?
Yes to all.
Benitez, yes to all. Danny Bonilla?
Yes to all.
Danny Bonilla, yes to all. Hector Bonilla?
Yes to all.
Bonilla, yes to all. Eliezer Bueno?
Yes to all.
Eliezer Bueno, yes to
I'm
all.
Except for the one from the Department of Transportation. There's a conflict of interest since I work for the Department of Transportation.
Resolution B. Yeah, he's not voting.
So, Reso B, conflict of interest, yes to the rest.
Point of order. 19 is excellent.
Point of order?
Bueno, yes. We got the point
I
of
also
order.
work for DOT, the sidewalk cafes will
Yeah.
also be a copy.
Yeah, so Eliezer said 17 through 19 is sidewalks CLT, so you have to vote in conflict.
So, Eliezer, it's, right, 17 through 19 is your conflict of interest?
Not necessarily, but we'll talk about that later on since we're not the decision making agency on sidewalks. But it's okay. Conflict of interest in those two as well.
Okay, and rest of the yes. Yes to the rest. Darren was absent. Darlene Cornell?
Yes to all, no to B.
Okay, so it's not, so Darlene Cornell, no to B?
B, yes to the rest.
Thank you. No to B and yes to the rest. Nobles Crawford?
Yes to all.
Nobles Crawford, yes to all. Robin Pluth?
Yes to all.
Robin Pluth, yes to all. Thank you. Stefan De Jesus?
Conflict of interest with residents B and 17 through 19, I'm employed by DOT, and yes to the rest.
Okay, conflict of interest for B, 17 through 19, and yes to the rest. Thank you. Catherine Diaz?
Yes to all.
Yes to all. Noemi Diaz?
Yeah, you all abstain.
No, tell me what you abstain on.
Traffic and transportation.
You're abstaining on which one?
B.
What you gotta say?
B.
Okay, and yes to the rest?
Yes to it, yeah, yes to the rest.
Okay, Noemi Diaz, abstain to B, and yes to the rest. Again, I'm gonna ask that when I'm asking these questions, only the person who I'm speaking to should be answering the question, because then I can't hear and then things get confused, and I got to repeat myself. That's right, I am doing that.
I abstain on B. I do feel there should be a moratorium on plazas until there's more guidance on it. And yes to the rest.
Okay, Domingo, yes to the rest. Abstain on B and yes to the rest. Thank you. Erwin Fernandez?
Yes to all. Yes to all.
Owen Fernandez, yes to all. Luana Farrar. Okay. Sonia Figueroa Pagan.
No to A for another plaza. Sorry, but no to B for,
I'm sorry, no to A and B?
yes,
No to A and B?
to extend a variance of over 50 years. And no to the licensing until we have something in place to follow up.
So you're saying no to
No
everything?
to everything.
Okay, thank you. So Sonia Figueroa Pagan, no to all. I don't think I've ever said that yet, but okay, thank you for giving me that experience.
I hope this is the journey. Let's take it.
That's quite all right.
Let's take it.
Rock on, sorry. John Francis?
Yes to all.
John Francis, yes to all. Jonathan Prometta?
Yes to all.
Oh, you, is there? Yes to all. So Jonathan Prometta, I'm sorry, you're yes to
Yes,
all.
I say yes to all.
Okay, don't get annoyed with me. I gotta hear and I'm old. So John, yes to all. Fujimura?
No to A, yes to everything else.
So it's Fujimura, no to A, yes to the rest. So when you say that next time, it's gonna be yes to the rest.
Yes to
I know I sound like a pain in the tuchus, but I'm really not doing it on purpose.
Appreciate it. Thanks, thank you.
Oh, yeah, I feel bad I was hard on you. Damn it. Okay. I had a soft spot. All right, Tanisha Grant?
Yes to all, my love.
Thank you, darling. Tanisha Grant, yes to all. Heidi Guzman?
Not voting on B 17, 18, and 19 due to conflict of interest. I've just accepted a job at DOT and yes to the rest.
Okay, Heidi Guzman, no to B, 17 through 19, yes to the rest. Thank you. Jody Herson?
Yes to all.
Jody Herson, yes to all. Andre Viago? Not present. Thank you. Leo Jimenez? Sick. Thank you. O.C. Kamina?
No to the letter B, no to 14, and no to 19. Yes to the rest.
Okay, just make sure I got this right, OC. So OC, no to B, no to 14, no to 19, yes to the rest.
Correct.
Alexis Marnell, yes to all. Tracy McNeil, Sean? No, not present. Isidro Medina?
Yes to all.
Isidro Medina, yes to all. And I'm sorry if I'm saying this right.
Megas.
Megas, okay. Thank you.
Abstaining on A and B, and yes to the rest.
Okay, and Megas?
Megas.
Get this, yeah, we'll get this, yeah.
Sounds like big.
Oh, that I can remember. Abstaining on A and B, yes to the rest. Dia Hennies?
Abstain B, yes to all.
Abstain on B, yes to the rest. Indiana Porta?
Yes to all.
Indiana Porta, yes to all. Elizabeth Ritter, she's not on there. Bruce Robertson?
Yes to all.
Bruce Robertson, yes to all. Steve Simon?
Abstain on B, yes on all others.
Steve Simon, abstain on B, yes to the rest. Melissa Sims?
Abstain on B, yes to the rest.
Melissa Sims, abstain on B, yes to the rest. Ethan Simon?
No to B, yes to the rest.
Ethan, no to B, yes to the rest. Thank you. Lizette Tavares? Absent.
No.
Oh.
This one is.
Okay. Carl Engel?
Yes to all.
Carl Engel, yes to all. Anthony Viola?
Staying on B, yes to the rest.
The rest, Crystal Woodley?
Abstain on B and yes to the rest.
Okay, Crystal Woodley, abstain on B, yes to the rest. Thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you, Alexis. All right, we're gonna dive into committee reports. Unless you are referring to the minutes, you can come on up and make a line. So help us come on down. So we're starting with the nobles.
Hey, Kathy, you can refer to the minutes. I just have to step out.
All right.
Thank you.
So we're gonna start with nobles. We got Wayne, I guess Sid, and then Mary.
You can refer to the minutes on my end.
Hey folks, Noble's Chair of the Marijuana Task Force here. Good to see you. Every first Monday, we're having our meeting, just to reiterate the model here. And we had our first meeting last week, and earlier this month. We have some new committee members, which is cool. We were talking about what our agenda should be going forward. We're gonna talk about that again in the next meeting on October 6th. Where we also, I believe, we have an applicant we have one applicant for a legal cannabis dispensary in our neighborhood. That would bring our total up to 5 with approved licenses, but I think we only have 2 really in action right now. So if you're interested in something like that, come on down 6:30 to the community board office and let your voice be heard for legal cannabis. Thanks.
Wayne.
Okay, thank you. I refer everyone to the minutes of the Land Use Committee meeting. We have 3 new members who are 3 new community board members, and we welcome the new interests and new perspectives. And because we have new members, one of the things that we're going to go over in October is Land Use 101 training that both the borough president and the Department of City Planning has done in the past. We're just massaging it a bit to go through it a bit faster. And I think some of the questions that were asked earlier today concerning the BSA variance, we will touch upon that as well. So board members who are not on the committee that want to get some insights into the sort of the basics of zoning and land use, you're welcome to attend to hear about that. And we also plan on posting that presentation to CB12's website, so it's a resource for everyone to use moving forward. Thanks, Catherine.
Thanks, Wayne. All right, next up, Mary, and then Indiana. You want me to bring a mic to you? I could have brought you the mic.
I just want to encourage everybody to read the minutes, which are quite extensive. Our new vice chair, Erwin Hernandez, we welcome him, and Megas, who is a new member of our committee. We appreciate the help and the involvement from both of these people. We had our first meeting of the year at the Star Senior Center on 187th Street, and we had 60 attendees. Okay? Started the year with a bang. Thank you.
Who's gonna top that in October? We'll find out. Indiana.
Thank you very much. We had a really great meeting earlier in September. We had some new members that we welcomed, and I will refer everyone to the minutes, but I do want to flag 2 things. One, we had 2 presenters. One was a representative from Assemblymember De Los Santos' office, and then the second was a representative from an organization that focuses a lot on adult literacy, and it is the Inwood Community Services is the organization, somebody from their adult literacy program, and they were speaking to us about some funding challenges that they're having, and they serve a lot of people in both the Washington Heights and Inwood area, but due to some changes at the city with how they are prioritizing funding, they've lost quite a bit of funding. And so I just wanted to put that on anyone's radar in case they've got information or connections. I would encourage you to connect with Inwood Community Services and put it on everyone's radar as we're talking about funding moving forward. And then the second thing I wanted to put on folks' radar is that during our meeting, there was a question about what ended up happening with the Fort Washington Collegiate Church. And my understanding is that they have closed, and there was just discussion at our meeting on potentially asking the Attorney General to review how that process happened in case, maybe things were, happened in a way that they shouldn't have. We didn't come to any kind of vote on that, but just wanted to put it on your radar that there was interest during our meeting to follow up. And the final thing I'll say is we're really hoping to invite community organizations to come and present, even if it's 5 minutes on Zoom, to let us know what they serve, who they serve, what they do, how we can reach them. And we're thinking about organizations like tenants associations, nonprofits, smaller neighborhood groups. So whatever it is, please let us know. We'd be happy to reach out and invite them. Thank you.
Thank you, and shout out Indiana, who also returned as chair this fall. So she's the chair for Housing and Human Services.
Yeah,
And
thank
Jay is serving as vice chair for that committee. And that's also a big step up. All right, next up we got Parks and Cultural Affairs, Water and Sun minutes. All right, and then now Domingo and Steve. Domingo, that's you.
Another break, coming back re-energized. So we had our meeting last Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. So everybody's welcome to join us. Youth and Education, second Thursday, 6:30. And yeah, so one of the biggest things is, and I also spoke to Ms. Nichols, the head librarian in Inwood. We had a mother raise concerns around Sunday service and the importance of the church just got renovated, historically has had it, and why this whole debacle during the budget, and unfortunately, there's no Sunday service in Inwood, so we'll be putting up a resolution together for next month to advocate for the reimplementation of Sunday service in Inwood. From my understanding, Sunday service is happening in Washington Heights on 160, and then as you go further north is in 231st Street, in the library in 231st. So there's a big gap in the middle. Besides that, I think as we enter budget priorities, which is coming up, right? We're firmly advocating around developing a tracker for School Construction Authority. That's going to be one of the main things. So many great projects that have not come to fruition, years in the pipeline. So we're looking for more accountability and being able to see how we could push for the city to put a tracker or implement tracking what's happening. And as we continue to advocate for equity for our kids, I think being able to maintain equitable, maintain buildings is part of that process. So look forward to it. Welcome to join us. And yeah. Steve, come on.
I don't know, take orders.
You sure did. You're funny.
The Health and Environment Committee meeting for October is being moved back a couple of weeks because of the Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur. We're now meeting on October the 16th, and hopefully all of my committee members, or at least all but one of them, I understand, should be available. Let me just give you maybe two bits of good news and another bit of news coming out of New York Presbyterian Hospital. The campaign that we've helped to lead for a number of years for the restoration of the psych beds at the Allen Hospital. We're getting back 24 of the 30 beds that were cut about 5 years ago. We're now being told that the state has finally approved the renovation plan and has agreed to allow the beds to be reopened next Tuesday, September the 30th. So finally, we'll have the restoration of that service and those beds that are important to this community at the Allen Hospital. If those anybody wants to pull it, you won't be turned aside. Number two, there was a great amount of fear that people in this community who have health first insurance coverage would no longer be able to use services at the hospital. The hospital and Health First were in a dispute. The hospital evidently told Health First that they were going to cut off the agreement with Health First as of November 3rd. I've now been informed today that the dispute between the two of them has been settled, so there should be no problem with continuity of service for those people who currently have Health First coverage. I know that on Facebook, for instance, there were a lot of people who were expressing a lot of concern about this. Third, although this community board took a position that we did not want the inpatient rehab unit at the hospital to be reduced down to 5 beds. Apparently, the state health department did approve that application. And so now we're gonna have to see whether or not freeing up these additional beds is actually gonna reduce the waiting time in the ER as the hospital had suggested. The last thing I want to say is wearing my Parks Department hat. I invite everybody to the Little Red Lighthouse Festival on Saturday, October the 4th, from 12 to 4. It's a great event to celebrate a cherished landmark in our community. I hope that everybody knows that the Little Red Lighthouse is right next to the GW Creek, and everybody should have grown up knowing the children's book about the Little Red Lighthouse and the Great Bridge. There will be tours of the lighthouse beginning at noon, but you should Saturday, October the 4th. And if you want to get a ticket, and the number of tickets will be limited to the first 200 who show up, and we'll begin distributing the tickets at 12 o'clock. So hopefully the weather will hold up and everybody will be able to join us on Saturday, October the 4th. Thank you.
All right. Any old business? Yes,
Second.
all right, well,
Want to say?
oh yeah, I was gonna actually send it over email, but stop, hold on, let me.
Yeah.
So while we adjourn, but we're all still hanging out here, so the meeting's formally done. Is, and there's gonna be a longer email with multiple things went out to board members, but Ty has volunteered graciously to help us with our website. There were some glitches. There were some severe glitches, well, they weren't even severe, but there were some crazy glitches there we couldn't fix, but also great opportunity to like make things smoother and clearer. So if there are things that you're seeing on the website that you're like, I would never find that there, or things that you would want to see more of, reach out. Ty and Paola might be the easiest way. Paola's working with Ty from the office end to implement things. And then one thing that's gonna be updated as well is that we have like a members page under our About Us. So there, for example, members who do, who need an exemption, who wanna understand the virtual versus in-person stuff. You gotta change your email, like all the stuff that's really pertaining to board members, you're gonna find that there. So we'll follow. You wanna add, Ty?
Photos, if you have good photos of the
neighborhood
that you might want to feature on the website, please feel free to share.
So photos, for those who are still hanging online, we need some lively, great stock photo, which free stock is not great. So if anybody has amazing photos that you've taken of our neighborhood that you'd like to highlight, you can also send those to Paola and Ty.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for raising that. All right, now folks can go home. Thank you folks on Zoom for hanging out with us. See you next time.
Thanks, Chair.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Night.